Super awesome. 17 people already.
So this might be a little loud as always. Nope, not that loud. All right, so let's just start it off. Welcome, boys, and welcome to Elijah. And thanks for wanting to speak a little bit about your LinkedIn secrets. Elijah is the head of growth over at HeyReach, and HeyReach is probably one of the most advanced softwares out there in terms of scaling LinkedIn outreach these days. And it's also one of the less pricier ones, so it's a very nice alternative to one of the pricier LinkedIn automations like Expandy or Walaxy. So Elijah, sweep the
Okay,
floor. The floor's all yours.
think I lost you there for a second.
You lost me.
Or, yeah, all good.
Anyways, brother, introduce yourself if I didn't do it enough, and let's do this.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thank you, Gus, and thank you, Nathan, for having me here. I actually joined your community a couple of days ago. I really enjoy the content that you guys are producing over here. So it made a lot of sense to come here and help you out with the things that you are having regarding LinkedIn, because primarily we are a LinkedIn automation tool, and basically I'm the guy behind the product itself. So I did a lot of testing on LinkedIn. I've created a lot of accounts and all of the things, right? So we actually wanted to see what is stopping people from scaling on LinkedIn, and based on that, we've created a product. But we will focus like on all things related. It's not just the tool itself, because I'm not here to sell you or pitch you on the tool. Like, you will see if you can find the use case. If not, all good. Just take what you can from this webinar. I should call it like that. And let me tell you a bunch of secrets that I have found throughout like the past year or so. So, guys, to start off with, from a product perspective, I've seen a lot of people doing one common mistake, and I'm going to lay it off like for the very beginning. The thing is, if your audience is not on LinkedIn, don't even try with tools, don't even try with promoting it, and don't even try on being the guy who saw that something is working for somebody else. Right. So if you are going after home services type of thing, like not B2B related, don't even try LinkedIn, because those people are not active on LinkedIn. It's better to reach them on a catch-all email like contact or info or stuff like that, rather than going on LinkedIn to try to find them. Your campaigns will fall, and it would not really bring any success to anybody. So I want to keep this webinar short and sweet, so I'm going to show you a bunch of things that I have discovered. I'm going to share what can you expect in terms of scaling, and what's the pros and the cons. So the pro when it comes to scaling on LinkedIn is that you can always be sure that you are talking with the right people. Right. So you have a lot of databases in the world. You have Apollo, you have ZoomInfo, you can purchase data and all of that. But in the end of the day, you are purchasing outdated data. And why is that? Because LinkedIn is the only self-updated platform in the world, self-updated database, if you will. Because everybody is posting things like, hey, I've updated my job. Hey, I have started a new adventure, and they just do it in a so ridiculous way. But good for them. The thing is, we can scrape all of those people and use them in a campaign. Recently, what have changed when it comes to LinkedIn, and you should have this in mind. So mid-April or something like that, LinkedIn became more restrictive when it comes to scaling up on the platform. Right. So previous to mid-May, mid-April, something like that, it was quite natural to send out 100 connection requests per day. And it was fucking amazing, man. You can just do with one account all sorts of crazy stuff, like 3,000 people per month. It was amazing. But the thing is, ever since that restriction hit, there is no other way to scale LinkedIn except with assigning multiple accounts to do the outreach for you. Meaning breaking the list into smaller samples, so assigning more accounts so they can deliver the message and deliver the offer and the outreach that you want to have, right? So the only way to go, regardless of how you get to the account, whether it's your personal one, whether it's purchased one, rented, created, you name it, at some point it will stop. So what we've seen is that the best way to achieve this on a long run is if you keep within LinkedIn limits. So when you ask what are the LinkedIn limits, there is no right or wrong answer to this. It's like we say that it's approximately from 100 to 200 connection requests or messages per week. So what you can usually expect, regardless of the tool, that you can reach out to 800 people per month. So that's your limit. Keep in mind, if you want to reach out to, I don't know, 4,000 people, then you need 5 accounts, right? Have that math in mind. We've built out this tool specifically for that purpose, but have that in mind when you want to scale things up. So let me share my screen now, and you can see the type of things that we are seeing currently. Okay, start video, perfect, go live. Thumbs up if you can see my screen.
Yeah, we see
Right,
it.
anybody?
We see it.
In the chat. Okay, yeah, cool. So the thing is, in the past 30 days, we've delivered 2,300 plus messages, and the acceptance rate was 38%. And I'm going to show you types of things how you can achieve better acceptance rate. But let me give you a better overview of what's happening in the past, I don't know, 4 months or so. We've successfully delivered 11,000 connection requests, right? And the acceptance rate is on our end, it's 41%. Just don't just judge yourself if you're not reaching this number. We are doing this on a daily basis, right? So we are constantly optimizing, testing out different things, and all of that. So 11,000 is the capability of each account, each in one HeyReach organization on multiple accounts. And as you can see over here, all of the accounts are safe and sound, right? They're already in another campaign. They're constantly running. And this is the type of thing that you want to achieve, right? So you want to have a stable way of outreaching people on LinkedIn, depending on your needs or your client's needs. Because at the end of the day, you can sell LinkedIn outreach as a service. And don't forget about that, because people are charging like $1,000 for optimizing our LinkedIn profile, which can be done on a chat GPT type of thing, right? So I'm going to share those things with you as well. Have that in mind. You want stability, regardless of the tool. You want the constant stability that you can scale, because you need repetitive things to happen. So I'm going to skip a lot of things on how, but you can always reach me on an email on Discord. I will be more than happy to show and answer all of your questions. Next up, how do you know when a LinkedIn account is ready to scale and ready to send out connection requests? The good thing when it comes to LinkedIn, and they're like, I don't know why they fucking do this, but they do, they track a social index score. What is that, right? So basically, if you type out, I'm going to put this in the chat over here so you guys can check your social index score. So the thing is, your account is measured by LinkedIn, meaning it consists of 4 components, like how well did you have optimized your personal brand or your profile? Are you finding the right people? Meaning, are people accepting your connection requests? And engaging with insight, this is something that like posting and commenting and liking. And building relationship is basically how well are you connecting with decision makers, because LinkedIn like separates decision makers from anybody else. So that is one thing, and I can help you optimize. I'm really not going to help you, but what is an optimization of LinkedIn profile? Let me share my account over here, right? So you can see it's basically consists of just adding a profile picture, background image, some of the things that in the headline, you should input that as well. And it's like experience. If you don't want to bother this, just use ChatGPT to generate some generic shit. So basically, you should do all of these things. And this goes regardless of which account is it. So it might be a real account, it might be a fake account, right? So use that optimization type of thing, have that in mind before you even start a campaign. At the end of the day, don't treat LinkedIn like it's an email, right? On an email, somebody will see your messages and they will even I don't know, they will block your account or maybe report it to spam or they will respond. But on LinkedIn, people will click on that profile and they want to see who you are and what you do. And it can be a fake profile. Don't worry about it. It works perfectly fine for anybody as long as it's properly optimized. So the next thing is how do you there are different ways on how you can create LinkedIn accounts or use multiple accounts. And I'm going to share a couple of ideas over here so you guys are free to explore. The things that I have done previously is I have created multiple fake profiles, such as this one. So as you can see, this is a fake profile. I know it seems a bit of real, but it's not. I went on Facebook, found a random dude's picture, cropped that, changed the background, and put it on LinkedIn. So that's one way to go. Just a bit of optimization here and there, and this account is ready to go. So it has 200 connections to his name. So that's one thing from this point on. Once you reach to 100 connection requests, 100 connections, sorry about that. So from that point on, you can go and start your outreach campaigns. Another thing, you want that LinkedIn account to be active on LinkedIn, at least in the first couple of days. So the question is, how do you do that, right? Nobody has the time to write this shitty post, right? I'm never writing this, but people do. So what I'm doing to age a LinkedIn account is basically I'm scrolling down and I'm looking for a post that ends in question mark, right? Like this, agree or disagree. Next thing, I'm copying this, heading to ChatGPT, and I'm putting the whole thing. Okay, so let me do it like this. So I'm putting the whole thing as a prompt, right? So ChatGPT basically generates something that's very, I don't know, I don't even care what it generates, right? So the next thing is, I don't know this person, I'm going to comment on that and rest assured that this person will reply to me by something engageful, something like that. But at the end of the day, if I'm sending a connection request to Xavier over here, I can be sure that he will accept it. Other ways you can do that, you can use the ChatGPT, like generate a positive comment about this LinkedIn post, make it sound like it was a LinkedIn influencer. And you can just basically, you don't even have to read this, you just copy and paste it and place it on the appropriate post that you can find. That is how you generate these types of content. And another thing that I've seen working pretty well, let me just open up my email. I will share some things that I have found over there. So just give me a sec. Sorry for not being prepared. LinkedIn, right? So LinkedIn sends you suggestions on who should you connect next, right? And we basically everyone sees them on an email, but everybody throws them aside because they don't make any sense, right? So let me share this with you guys. And well, the whole point is that you want to connect with people who LinkedIn is suggesting you to add, right? So here is my inbox, right? And you can see this email coming from messages, no reply, LinkedIn. And when you hit the connect button, what we've seen is that here you can see a tracking link, right? So it's origin email, origin context, CPL, right? So this is a campaign for them.
Ilija,
so use that and it will boost your social index score, and it will definitely... Oh, sorry. Can you see it now?
Ilija.
Right.
No. We don't see it because I think you have two monitors, so we don't see it, but I think people got used to it. So maybe you can just go through the link you mentioned just again and explain how it works.
Yeah, let me change Windows, something like that. So here it is, go live. Perfect. Sorry about that, guys. So basically, this is my LinkedIn, the email associated with my link. You cannot see it again. Sorry, guys.
No, it's good. It's good. Now we see it.
Okay, cool. Okay. So let's click on this, and basically you see this, right? It's this is a campaign for them. Use that. Use that email, origin, context, PGL. Like, I don't care what it says here, but I'm sending a connection request. So basically, I will get accepted just because LinkedIn said so, right? So use that. Use your email inbox as well. Next up, Let me just shift my screen again for you guys to see all the things that I have to say. Cool. So, write content with ChatGPT. Click on the suggested fields on LinkedIn because that's something that LinkedIn has to offer. So when it comes to creating LinkedIn accounts, have this in mind. You should do it by using residential proxies. Always use the same cookies at the very beginning before you plug it into any automation software. Why? Because the first 72 hours are crucial and you don't want to burn that LinkedIn account or to burn that, I don't know, the thing that you have invested a lot of times in. So here are a couple of hints how you should create a LinkedIn account. First, start off by adding an education. So then LinkedIn will start generating recommendations from people who studied at the same school. So use that. And later down the road, just add a job title. And a job title can actually be a generic company within the US, like Amazon, like FedEx type of thing, right? So it's not detectable that much. But for the time for when you're creating an account, just add unemployed. And from that point on, just add a university. It can be really any university. The second way to get a LinkedIn account is if you purchase one or rent it out. So these guys, I'm working closely with these guys. They're called GetIam, and basically you can rent out a LinkedIn account already with 100 connections and personalized content on them. Sorry, you're not seeing the screen again, I'm guessing. Okay, there we go. So GetIam avatars, you can basically rent out a LinkedIn account on monthly basis. Have that in mind. Another thing is mirror profiles. Look at these guys as well if you want to plug and play solution. So here are the links, you can use them as well. And just sharing the links in a minute. So use this if you want a plug and play solution to shoot messages very instant. Okay, cool. Next up, what's the most? This is another thing because their account might get blocked. So basically, the only way that I have seen when it comes to cost effective and all of that, the best way is to get an account from your buddy, from your grandma, from your aunt, stuff like that. Something that can be backed up with an ID, right? But because at some point the account will get, it's not blocked, it's all there, like LinkedIn is asking you to verify identity, right? So you can see that over here, verify identity. And you can see multiple ways, and I'm testing out different ones. So this is through a work email, and I've tried this. So check this guide over here on how you can verify identity. But essentially, it can be done either through a ID or a business work email. So I've even scraped some, I don't know. On the dark web, I have found some ideas from real people in the US, but I retrieved the account 3 times out of 10. So it's not something that you can do because it goes on a manual review. So we've done some pretty questionable things, but it was all just to test out like different things. So you have either to create accounts, buy accounts, or rent them. Those are the types of things that you can do. And when it comes to aging, just use ChatGPT to generate some content, generate some things on the profile itself. And from that point on, you're basically good to go. So, am I rushing too fast? Like, give me a thumbs up. Like everything.
No. This is amazing. This is amazing.
Oh, cool, man. Cool. Love it. I really didn't know how much I knew up until I get to a point where people are struggling with all of this. So have that in mind. Okay, guys. So when it comes to the LinkedIn accounts, once you get to a point where you have the account up and ready to scale, right? The second thing, and the second important thing, like in my opinion, is the most important thing, is how do you find the best leads on LinkedIn, right? And have this in mind. If I type out a CEO over here, right? So let me just give it a sec. Yeah, right. So the thing is, if you type out a CEO over here and you apply all of the filters that you have over here, right? The thing is, 70% of this data will be junk leads. What that means is like only 30% will be CEOs, and we've tested this out and it's not working, right? So because you're seeing 1,000 results and on the first they look legit, but the problem is that they're not, right? So like 65 to 70%, these people will not match the filters that you have inputted over here. So that is why is that happening on LinkedIn? It's because LinkedIn is pushing you to buy the Sales Navigator, right? So that's their main goal, to sell Sales Navigator subscriptions. And if you don't have that, you will probably be working with some junk leads, right? If you're working with junk leads, you cannot sell this as a service. You will not see conversions out of it because you're messaging the wrong people. So how do you get the Sales Navigator? And this is probably I'm connected with a couple of guys who are actually doing a resale on the Sales Navigator. So you can get a Sales Navigator for $20 a month on a 3-month subscription, like $60. But for 3 months, you can practically extract millions of people on LinkedIn. So in the table of content, I have inputted some things that you should use within the Sales Navigator. So regardless of the keywords and these filters, this is the most important filter that I have tested out. Posted on LinkedIn in the past 30 days, right? You can find it here in the spotlight. Why is that important? Because you want to make sure that you are talking with the people who are actually active on LinkedIn. So if we take Steve over here, I can assure you that this dude is logging into LinkedIn, checking the impressions of the post that he had done like 20 days ago, right? And basically you want that. You want active people on LinkedIn. You just don't want anybody on LinkedIn. You want the most active people on LinkedIn. And from this point on, you can just apply filters that make sense. So if you're targeting somebody, if you have a service like a lead gen or PPC or whatever it is, you basically want to find a CMO within a company that has changed their job in the past 90 days. Why is that important? Because, not mentioned in the news, sorry guys, because those guys, when they put operations in hand, they will not ship it or outsource it to anybody from like a third party. But if they're at the very beginning, you're targeting them at the very beginning, and that's the best way to go. So use that, right? Use the account search as well. I'm sorry, I'm not selling the Sales Navigator here, but guys, if you want to have good campaigns, I'm sorry to say this, but you gotta have the Sales Navigator. And if you have multiple accounts, just start free trials constantly, like 30 days, start free trial, next account 30 days, and I can explain like how you can benefit from all of those things. In here, in the account section, and this is sometimes, it's better to target the companies first rather than target the decision makers directly, right? And what do I mean by that? So everybody here is into marketing, right? So probably someone is not, but hear me out. The thing is, if the marketing department is less than 5 people and the company size, like these are filters that you can use, right? And the company headcount is 11 to 50, right? They will be looking to outsource some of the things that they need to generate leads. And this is where you can come with a message to the CMO going with, hey, I know that hiring people is too much expensive. How about if I can set you up a campaign on a performance-based type of payment, right? Would that make sense? Right? Have that in mind. Applying the filters and making a timely message. Do you have like any question up until this point? Hit me up in the chat. Let me know if you have any. We can do something like a QA after this. Okay, just write off the question. Let's finish up everything with how you can utilize things within HeyReach. Right? Cool. Okay, so next up is we have the account ready. We have the lead list ready. How do we do things efficiently if we want to spend the least possible time on outreach campaigns by automating multiple accounts at the same time? So the thing is, let's post some, I don't know, ridiculous filters over here. They don't make sense. Right there. Yeah, cool. So copy this LinkedIn URL. Perfect. I'm copying this Sales Navigator URL. and I'm now heading to HeyReach. And this is not a sales pitch, guys. Don't worry about it. I'm just going to show you a couple of things, right? So the thing is, when you're searching, all you need to do is select an account that has the sales navigator. And you can see over here while the search is running. So probably some of you were using the Phantom Buster or, I don't know, an extensions to scrape LinkedIn. This is a cloud-based solution. You do not have to keep a tab open or anything. You can see that only my account and my colleague's account, we do have the sales nav, but the rest of them are free LinkedIn accounts. And I can show you how you can make things happen. So here is some of the data points that you will have to work with. So you have the name, the headline, job title, company, location. We are working on a feature that will find 80% of LinkedIn's contacts, regardless of if you're connected or not. So 80% of LinkedIn will be mapped out in emails. Basically, we are trying to replicate Apollo on this, right? To have better data from them, like those fuckers, right? Sell out non-verified data, but that's a whole other subject. Let's cancel this because it will go up to 2,500. Let's save this like sales nav demo. Sorry, yeah, small letters, big letters, all of that. So let's start a campaign, right? So what is a campaign? A campaign is a set of actions that you want to your account to take in your behalf while you're doing nothing. First things first, select the lead list that you have just scraped. Always exclude people with no profile picture, right? Those dudes are not on LinkedIn, even though they have posted something, even though like they're checking their phone like every once a month. So you cannot expect a conversation from that type of person. And next up, here is the fun part. This is actually what differentiates us from any other tool on the market. Even though I have scraped the list with the sales navigator using my account, I can assign 1, 2, 3, 4 LinkedIn accounts that don't have the sales navigator. And this is my point, right? So this month, Ilya will have the sales navigator. Next month, it's going to be Dominica. And this is a fake account, by the way. This is my colleague's dad's account because he's not using that, but we needed to reach some people. And like you get my point. Constantly changing free trials. If you have 5 accounts, that's 5 accounts. That's like 5 months of free usage of the sales navigator. From this point on, you can set up like limits, and you can set up working hours. Okay, you can set up working hours. Select a time zone. If you're not in the same time zone as your prospect list, then select the time zone that resonates. And from this point on, you're just automating things, right? So basically, this is something that I want to tell you about and educate you, because I've seen a lot of messages going out, and we are seeing good results because we're applying a very simple system, right? The first thing that you want to do is you want to like your most recent post, guys. It's not like sending a connection request. It's like getting the first notification that says, I like your most recent post and I find it insightful. And the post should not be older than, I don't know, 3 months, right? So when you're typing out the connection request, it can go with something like, hey, not let's connect, but hey, I really like the content that you're producing, right? It's like it's differentiating you from any other guy or girl doing outreach and don't know how. Like make things that resonate, right? So insert the personalization variables. You already know this part, but the best performing connection request that we've seen is actually a blank one. And I'm going to tell you why, right? It's very simple. I didn't realize this, but when you're on LinkedIn, right, and you find somebody you want to connect with, right, do you go and type out things to connect with them? No, right? You're checking out their profile. Nobody has the time to do this, and you're just clicking on connect over here, right? And it's sent. Right, so that is why you can be acting natural if you're sending blanks. So next up, add a variation with the personalization, A/B copy test everything all times. So that's our module. From this point on, you can automate a bunch of things like viewing profiles, hitting the follow button, liking another post. If you have the sales nav, send an email that makes sense, right? Do all of those things and have this in mind. The average acceptance rate of a LinkedIn connection request sent to being accepted is 3.5 days, right? So what you want to do over here is basically input a 4 days delay between your connection request and the second message that you want to send out, or second notification. And why is that? Because they will not see the first notification in the first place, right? And you're already blasting all messages. Like, I know that everybody is in a hurry, but if you want to have better campaigns, just input a bigger delay. From this point on, once you get accepted, within 1 hour, send your connection request and your messages. And this message should usually go with something like thank you. And after this, I'm gonna pop up a couple of, like, just to give you a broad idea what a campaign would look like, right? So liking a post, the next day sending a message, and all of that, right? So here is the point. Each action in this campaign has a unique conversion value, right? So the conversion value of the connection request is to be accepted. It's not to pre-qualify, not to sell, not to send calendar links and all of that. Just be accepted, because you can retarget all of these people later, like a couple of weeks from now. So next up, the second message. This is the message where you want to get a reply, right? So pop a question over here. And the question would be, hey, thank you for accepting my connection request. How are you guys handling problem X? Right? You want that response to be able to pre-qualify, right? And the third message can be educational, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean, here is my link, let's catch up. Don't ask for time, ask for attention. So the attention would be, this is how we solve problem X, like you probably have, for client Y, right? So you need that type of interaction. Number 4 message can be a bump, right? So, hey, I know that you're super busy, just wanted to check if everything's all right. It can go something like that. And this is like something that we're testing constantly. If anybody has a question, just pop me a message on Discord. I will be sure to answer all of that. So here's the fun part, guys. This is not the fun part. This is pretty cool, but it's not the fun part. So if you have 4 accounts at the same time, automating messages and automating responses and like follow-ups and variations and all of that, how do you track the responses? Do you go logging into each account separately, right? Do you go with, I don't know, changing proxies and changing browsers and all of that? No, man. We just have the unified inbox over here, right? And if you're using instantly, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, it's basically the same function. Let's just find every unread messages from all of my campaigns, right? This is the unified inbox, and you can basically type out the responses from here, right? And you can see like this girl, Kavisa, over here is talking with my colleague, Mariana, and I'm typing out the responses. Nice to meet you too, right? So she has no idea who is she talking to, right? From this point on, you can just label prospects, like, is this person a lead? Is this person, did we schedule a demo, that type of thing? Or if you're doing this for clients, you can shoot this data directly to your client CRM, right? So you have multi-slot CRM integration, meaning you can assign multiple CRMs in your HeyReach organization, and you can shoot data to your client CRM directly or to yours. So you can have HubSpot, you can have, Go High Level, you can have Close, that type of thing, right? So these are the 4 CRMs that we currently support at the moment. So it's HubSpot, Pipedrive, Go High Level, and Close. Just input the API key and you're good to go. Yeah, from this point on, it's everything about reporting, right? How many connection requests did I send? What's the acceptance rate? What's the reply rate? And if you want to do a deep dive analysis of things, you can basically just go into any separate campaign like this one over here, and you can see that 2 accounts were automated in this campaign. These are the things that happened: 1,100 connection requests sent in an extensive period of time. Message A got accepted on 25% acceptance rate. 188 people received a message. These are how the accounts are performing. So if you see an account lacking in terms of not sending enough connection requests or not sending, not being accepted, then you probably need to do some optimization over there. And from this point on, you can just see like which prospect is connected to which account, even though like this is my personal one, but it can actually be a fake one. And yeah, in which stage of the funnel is. So with Actually, this is a fun task that we've made. We've made an affiliate marketing campaign on people who were attending an affiliate marketing event on LinkedIn, right? And we've used a fake account to reach those people. And guys, we've hit like, I don't know, some sort of a record over here, 73% acceptance rate on both messages against 1,100 people. And I know that these people are, the point is that if you find a relevant audience, you will have no problem of generating responses, acceptance, and positive engagement, right? That's the whole point. So 73%, it was fucking amazing. I'm not going to lie, we were impressed as well. So I'm not showing off, it's just telling you how you should think about things. So guys, that was a lot of talking on my end. Sorry if I missed anything, but you can always pop a question. Let's hear out for the Q&A and yeah.
Oh no, Ilya, this was awesome. I think you explained a lot of stuff, which is amazing,
Anyone?
and you gave everyone a quick overview of the tool. So thank you for that.
I'm not hearing anyone, so is my headset wrong or?
Yeah, I hear you, Nathan. Do you hear me, Elijah?
Yeah, all good, all good.
Try and talk.
Yeah, so we have questions in the chat. Do you want to read them, Gus, or maybe Ilya, you want to read them and reply? Or
no, let's just Gus do the reading because I'm just exhausted for the past 30 minutes.
yeah.
We can also get some people up here and ask the questions. I know, Francis, you wanted to come up here, or Ali, you wanted to come up here. So we got Ali. Ali's not here. Maybe get Francis up here. Yeah, there we go.
Is the house okay?
Yeah. Good. Anyhow, I have a very rookie question.
Sure.
So let's say I have a client called Jack. Now, I want to prospect for Jack on LinkedIn. Do I make a one-to-one profile like Jack's original profile and outreach on the clone account, or do I make an account with like my face and everything like that, and then pose as like an SDR or whatever role, posing as I work for Jack's company?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question. Dude, what happened is that I've created on my own name, like variation of my name. So it's Ilija with a J and I made it with a Y, put it in a Slovenia type of country. And it was me at the end of the day, right? So I've created on my behalf and the account lasted for like 6 months. Right, I've optimized it a little bit. My profile picture. LinkedIn actually restricted my account 4 times. And each time they have restricted my account, I send them my personal driver's license, right? And I have those emails. I can share them in a screenshot or something in between.
So you pose. So you're like, you pose as you're working for the client's company.
Yeah. And that's the whole point with the fake accounts. You will always put work description within their company. Because at the end of the day, they will check out the profile. If it doesn't match the thing that you're saying with the company that you're representing, that's a lost lead right there.
Okay, awesome. And what role do you say you are? You're like an SDR or what are you?
Yeah, outsourced part-time SDR type of thing, right? So something that's like specifically for generating the leads, and people are okay with that, right? Because they, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. Thank you.
No problem, man.
Question, if you can hear me.
Sure, man.
Yeah, so you kind of mentioned this before, but about getting your connection request accepted, I found running campaigns like with just like a blank message, like 10-15% acceptance rate. Now, like, is there anything you can do to increase that? Like you said, there's certain groups you can scrape, but is there anything else you can tell me that can get it up? Because 10% is pretty useless. It makes LinkedIn not really worthwhile.
Yeah, that's true. Like, guys, if you're hitting below 20% acceptance rate, you need to consider 2 things. Either your profile is not optimized well enough, like it doesn't say who you are, what you do, type of thing. And the second would be, where did you find those people, right? So if you're aiming for not active people on LinkedIn type of thing, that can be an issue because they never really saw your connection request, right? That's one thing. If you're targeting an oversaturated market, like those are usually VP of sales, head of sales type of roles, and if you're hitting those, you should expect a lower acceptance rate because also they're like bombarded from any place in the world, right? So have that in mind. If blanks are not working in your case, what I would do is I would start off with a group or an event that they're attending, matching my ICP, and I would personalize the connection request with, hey, I saw that you were attending this specific event, care to connect, right? All of that. So it's a numbers game, I can agree with that, but with a little bit of optimization and personalization, you can achieve that 20% acceptance rate with ease.
Cool, thanks.
And
Sure,
one more
man.
thing, Ali, sorry for interrupting you, Ilija, is I would post content. So you can
Yeah.
go maybe on Twitter, for example, and see what's popular there, and just rewrite it in a way, like look at a tweet, a thread, find a way to rewrite it so it suits your style, and then post that. You also have to like make the profile, like Ilija said, so it looks natural and genuine. You're not like a bot or like an avatar, so it looks like a real person that engages on LinkedIn, that's active, essentially.
Oh yeah, if I may add something to Nathan over here, you don't actually have to go to Twitter. Just go into the basic LinkedIn search bar, input a specific keyword about the content, and instead of searching for people, search for posts. Take the whole post that went viral, like 100 likes and all of that, and add that to ChatGPT, Quillbot, or whatever like rewriting type of tool to just make it look natural, right? We've done all of these things on Reddit. So basically, right, repurposing content from anybody else with a bit of editing over there. That's the way to go to create content. Cool.
Got you. Thanks.
Sure, man.
Yeah, we got some questions around the ID verification again. I know you touched on it a little bit, but Ethan is asking, is there any way around the verify ID issue or a way to prevent it happening in the first place? And we also got a question in terms of that they don't see the alt option to go for the verify through the work email. So how do you go about that?
Well, the thing is, the main question, and thank you for popping that question actually, but the main question is what triggers LinkedIn to pull that suspension, right? What's the trigger? Because triggers on LinkedIn are done by algorithms, by AI, right? So one thing is the login location. So if you have a login location, I don't know, you are based in, I don't know, Germany, but you're logging in from the US, that's like the red flag, number one. The second is, are you pushing up with too many messages? That's number two. That number three would be how old is the account. So that is why you don't want to push up to get up to a point where you get 100 connections, not to trigger the suspension. That's one thing. You want to use the same proxy location that you have used to create the account in the first place to be inputted in the LinkedIn profile. That's second. And you should aim for high acceptance rate. Like I'm talking like 50% acceptance rate in the first week, right? Because people know you. That's the whole point, right? That's something that will not trigger. So 50% acceptance rate on a small scale of 10 connection requests tops or 5 connection requests per day on already suggested people on LinkedIn. That is something that you can help you out. And the whole thing is, once you get to a point where you get locked out with the ID and nothing else as an option, there is no way around it. I've tried with photoshopping a lot of fake IDs and driver's licenses because you can find those templates on Google type of thing. So you can use that, like find an ID, optimize it and all of that, but it won't work. I've never retrieved a LinkedIn account. So the best way if you are creating an account is either to find ID first and then create an account on that name. So that's one thing. Or, as I said, man, the best way to go is to have like people who are not using LinkedIn, like friends, family, aunties, and stuff like that, and use their LinkedIn or create an account on their behalf because you will always have their ID to get it back. Yeah, I hope that I have answered the question. I just put a lot of information in that answer, so sorry about that.
Yeah, then we got a question around like renting accounts. Do we need to care about the ID verification and optimization of rented accounts?
Of rented account? Listen, optimization of the account is what drives conversions. If you do not optimize an account, you cannot hope for high conversions. And at the end of the day, you do not care about the account itself, you care about the conversions, right? That's why you're here in the first place. You don't want to see that account lasting for years, you want to see it lasting for 3 months and bringing you a shit ton of conversions, right? So that's the point. You need to optimize the account because people will check you out. So that's the main point of the optimization. It's not for LinkedIn, it's for the customers. And yeah, even though if they're fake ones, yeah, it doesn't matter. If you want that fake one to convert, then optimize it a little bit.
Yeah, then we've got another question. Do you extract the companies on Sales Navigator, or how do you target the decision makers?
Oh, yeah. You can extract. Okay, so I'm going to need to share my screen again. And this is going to be a quick thing to do. Basically, if you are targeting companies within the Sales Navigator, and that should be like I mentioned before, it should be like based on the department headcount that you are targeting. In my case, it's marketing, but in your case, it can be really anything, right? It can be sales, it can be development, or any type of thing. So, oh shit, I didn't input that. So, marketing, 3 people max, add that, and here's the fun part, right? So you have 1,000 companies over here. Now I'm heading to HeyReach and I'm extracting blah blah blah. Where was it? Sales Navigator account search, meaning companies. So now, and this is really an amazing feature, right? Not that it's my first time in touch with the problem, not buyers at all, right? So you're extracting companies, and here is how a company list would look like. So here you have the companies, and you have, based on the preferences that you have inputted, you can use this company list like name, description, location. Next, when you want to find the decision makers within a specific list of companies, this is how you do it. You basically create a search within the lead over here, and current job title should be a fucking CEO, who cares? So here is the whole point. I want a CEO who have posted something on LinkedIn in the past 30 days on a small size company, which has a marketing department of less than 3 people. And guys, if you ask me, that's very specific, right? So copy this, and I just inputted 3 like ridiculous filters. So the next thing is, how do you do that? So you're passing on the URL, but you are also selecting the list of companies, right? So basically, you're looking for the CEO with this specific list of 850 companies. And that's how you extract the decision makers within a specific list of companies. Cool.
Yeah, so it's looking for matches in between them. So if let's say in company you have company X, it's looking for the CEO from company X, and it checks if that account has been active last 30 days. Awesome. You know about that feature actually.
Yeah. Like those are like exploration cross features that you can use, and really I do not talk about those. I actually keep them as a secret weapon for these types of webinars and all of that. Cool. Okay, what do we got next?
I have a question, Elijah. What do you do in terms of, like, I know you touched on a little bit, but like the whole warm-up period when you get a new account? I know you mentioned something like connections, but is there something like you need to consider in terms of that?
Yeah, the thing is, with the warm-up period, you should not exceed 5 connection requests per day. And just don't go on LinkedIn because you're bored and just click on 5 profiles. Just do that like 1 hour, like 30 minutes later on, and just 5 per day. And the thing is, how do you achieve high acceptance rate? Because that's something I've mentioned. In the first week or 2, it's crucial to have a high acceptance rate. So how do I do that? I basically go on a selected city with a selected postal code, because in the Sales Navigator, you can select a postal code, right? So what I basically do is I go and find a random postal code that I have assigned to my account, and I'm finding like neighbors, right, at the end of the day. So I'm creating a list of maybe 50 people, tops, and I put my account to be warmed up with 5 connection requests per day, meaning in 10 days, I will get an acceptance rate because people like don't care. They will see the same location and they will say, howdy neighbor, right? So that's the effect that you want to have. And that's one thing. The other thing is just add people who are suggested from LinkedIn. Don't do searches, don't do targeted accounts, don't do any of that. Just add those people who are suggested from LinkedIn.
Yeah, so Burke said he's been asking this again. So if you use Get AI, you have ID verified accounts there. So if you use they cost a bit more. So I think it's $77 per month, but you have the 30% discount. So if you use those, then you're okay. Then if something happens, they're fine. You just contact them and they resolve the issue. So that's the answer to your question.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I will be much more active in this community, especially in the Fugazi LinkedIn, which I actually love the name, to be honest. And I will share a couple of value posts about the things that I have seen, I have done, and all of that. And yeah, we can stay in touch about all of that. Don't worry about missing out on a question right now. Well, so I see another question. When renting accounts, do we need to care about the ID verification or optimization? No, the thing with the services that offer renting, they will replace the account, right? So you actually do not need to worry about anything. And once you get banned or restricted or whatever, because they're also using an AI generated type of thing, so you just need to ask them for a replacement, and they are obliged to do the replacement. And have this in mind, guys. Fake account can last up to 3 months. Right, that's the time span that you have to utilize that account at its fullest. If it's a miracle if it goes like I do have accounts that are lasting like 6 months, year type of thing, but it's a very, very rare case. Right. So what you can hope for, and you say if you have an account, you need to go with I've got this account for 2 months, 3 months, doesn't matter. Let's like take the most out of it, right? Even send connection requests on Sunday, right? Don't spare the account itself. It's not you. Okay. So I see another question. Yeah, go on, guys.
Yeah, do we got some last questions before we wrap this up? We got someone that wants to speak. Get him up here.
Yeah, so it's Berkset and Luscious Ice Cream, or I don't know how you pronounce the name.
Yeah, we'll see what.
Thank you for that. So Elijah, thanks for the informative presentation. I've seen a few places online that said that on Sales Navigator there's a box where you can click similar companies. But I have when I look myself, I can't find it. Have you come across it?
About what? Like similar companies to the one that you're targeting?
Yeah. So if I'm like, if I go to the lead tab and I find like a really interesting company, and now I find like similar companies.
I've never tested out that approach because in that case you're relying on LinkedIn's algorithm to generate leads, and I want to be in full control of the of the leads that I'm generating. Sorry about this, guys. My throat got sore. So I want to be in full control of the leads that I'm scraping. At the end of the day, my whole campaign depends on that. My whole campaign depends on the profile. My whole campaign depends on the leads and the messaging and the offer itself, right? So I'm not really relying to anybody. And trust me on this, Lush ice cream, cool name. So trust me on this. There are a lot of people on LinkedIn, right? There are like billions of people, so you can find your links easily. If you don't know how to use that, just use ChatGPT, right? If you go with something like what's the search preferences that I need to use in the Sales Navigator to extract this specific type of company, and ChatGPT will generate Sales Navigator filters for you, and that's pretty fucking amazing. You don't have to worry about that. Cool.
Great. Thanks very much.
Like if you want the similar companies. So Lush Ice Cream, if you want to do that, so you want to find a similar company, Ocean.io is the best tool to do it. So their algorithm is super like optimized.
Yeah, but those guys are super fucking expensive, man. I respect them a lot, but the price points are crazy high, right? I get it, man. They're good, but yeah.
No,
Yeah,
they're good, but they're not expensive. It's all these Danes.
no. I read a question about creating LinkedIn pools, and let me spare my thoughts on that. Guys, don't create LinkedIn pools. I've seen this a lot of times. So if you're creating multiple fake accounts or similar to that, don't connect them between each other. Because I've seen this a lot of times when LinkedIn just bans whole branches of LinkedIn fake account pools, right? They have this pattern of detecting like if this is a fake, this is a fake, then this is a fake type of thing. So don't do that, keep them separate. So Net Karma is asking, with one HeyReach subscription, can you add up to 3 seats? Yeah, thank you, Nathan. So yeah, we are billing for LinkedIn accounts. So meaning one account is thanks to Gus over here that did reach me and said, okay, I have this crazy awesome community. Can you give me a discount for the community? And I said, fuck yeah, Gus, here you go. And that is why I'm like over here. So yeah, you have a discounted price of 49, I think it was. And basically one other LinkedIn account connected is 49. And we basically have the price on any LinkedIn automation tool on the market. And yeah, I hope that it makes sense. Although we have an agency offer that goes for unlimited LinkedIn accounts to be connected. And that's like 1500. I'm going to be honest, it's on the high end, but if you're scaling with like a lot of accounts, we are the only tool that offers a fixed price for unlimited accounts, like something like instantly. So have that in mind. I hope that you guys will be scaling pretty soon, and you will be reach out to me like, hey guys, I'm ready to scale things up. I hope that it will happen for all of you.
The OGs that bought an AppSumo.
yeah,
the best deal, like apart from instantly, the best deal on AppSumo. I have to be honest, there wasn't like a better deal.
Oh yeah, guys, let me share some thoughts about AppSumo, because some of you guys might even, I don't know, build out your own tool and place it on AppSumo. AppSumo charges crazy high, right? So it's like 70-30 type of deal that you get on AppSumo. Basically, everything that you sell, 70% goes to them. And it's pretty fucking annoying, but they have a 2 million people email list, we're engaged and all of that, and a lot of LTD buyers. So it's all good. We actually did a way better deal than that. I'm not going to share the details because of my NDA, but the thing is, we did a better deal. And the thing is that really surprised us as well. We outsold Instantly and Woloxy at the same time. And Woloxy was LTD over there. Pretty good tool, must admit, competitors, but solid. Yeah, so we outsold both of them, and it was only for 4 days, or for basic members, and the premium members had additional 4 days to purchase it. Anyway, it was a great deal, and if you got your LTD, congratulations, it's going to worth a lot of money, since we will be adding email extraction, email sending, combination of, I don't know, LinkedIn profile plus email and all of that. So keep your LTD, don't resell it. It will be worth a lot more money like in 6 months from now. And this is my like inside information for you guys.
All right. It seems like there's no more questions.
Super
Elijah, thank you so much for today. It was amazing. Crazy fucking value that you gave out. And you might just be the new moderator inside the Fugazi LinkedIn channel.
Yeah, certainly hope for guys. Keep up with the awesome community. Guys, just persistency is the key, right? LinkedIn, email, whatever it is that you're doing, keep on rocking. You're in the right place, and we will support each other throughout this community. Thank you guys for having me. Hope to see you inside of the channel, right?
Yes. Thank you, Elijah. And
Bye bye to everybody.
yeah, bye everyone. Thanks for coming.
Bye. Bye.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Banger, huh?
What'd you say?
Banger. Let's get Connor up in here.
Absolutely. You're saying for emails, do you put the guy's email or do I put my email on service delivery? Like as the name?
Like the guys, like how
Okay.